Good evening, Washington Local Schools. This is Bill Colin. I'm the principal at Greenwood Elementary, and I'm here today with Maverick Colin. Maverick, can you say hi? Who you got there? Bluey. Bluey saying hi too. Maverick's going to be a kindergartner this fall at Greenwood. He's already very much involved in Washington local culture. He was a part of the JPW wrestling team last year as a 4-year-old. He plays soccer, and he's going to be joining Coach Scott's cross-country team here in the fall. You going to be a good runner like your brother and sisters? Mm-hmm. Yeah? You going to run the pumpkin run this fall too? Mm-hmm. Are you going to win? Mm-hmm. Okay. So, he's very excited to be here, as you can tell. So I've got 3 books. They're all illustrated by Toledo native Will Clay. Will Clay is like I said, an illustrator that lived here in Toledo. Unfortunately, he passed away in 2011. But before he passed away, I got an opportunity to meet him. He came to my school, Sherman Elementary, a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. I was actually principal at a different school, and it was Sherman Elementary. So when he came, he very much entertained all of my kiddos, and he actually drew a portrait of me, which has now turned up missing. I'm trying to find it. But that was very much a highlight of my career, was meeting Will Clay and seeing him interact with our kiddos at Sherman. So the books are, 2 of the 3 books here are also written by Jan Wall, Tailypo and Little 8 John. Jan Wall is also a Toledo native, so that's pretty cool. Books written and illustrated by folks that lived here in Toledo. And then this 3rd book is another cool book illustrated by Will Clay. It's called The House in the Sky. I'm not going to read that one for you today, but I am going to read at least Tailypo and probably Little 8 John. So, Tailypo is one of my favorite books. I first read this when I was in my 1st or 2nd year of teaching. And Tailypo is basically an urban legend. An urban legend is a story that has been passed on and down throughout the years. Usually the tale gets crazier and crazier as the years go on. Sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not true, sometimes it's partly true. Usually, though, there's a little basis in an urban legend of truth, but sometimes there's not. So Tailypo is basically just that, an urban legend. So it's a little bit spooky, not too spooky. Maverick's heard part of it here this evening, but I like scary. I love scary movies. Maverick, do you like scary movies? No? Do you like scary stories? Okay, he's going to love this book. All right, so this is Tailypo. Like I said, retold by Jan Wall and illustrated by Will Clay. Retold by Jan Wall means it's kind of like an urban legend piece that I was telling you about. He didn't write the original story, but he's retold it here for all of us, passed down through the years in this book called Tailypo. This one's actually autographed. My good friend Molly let me borrow this book, so it's kind of a collector's item here. He autographed this when he came to Arlington School in February of 1996. All right, here we go. Sit up, buddy. Once way down in the big woods of Tennessee lived an old man all by himself in a cabin with 1 room. And that was his parlor, his sitting room, his bedroom, his dining room, and his kitchen too. At the end of the room was a high, deep, open fireplace, and that's where he cooked and ate his supper. See, look at all this going on here. It's a beautiful picture. Does our fireplace look like that, Maverick, with all the cooking utensils in there?
No, but we cook marshmallows on the fire.
Yeah, we do. We make s'mores at a campfire, don't we?
And I thought there was only 2 dogs, but the dog's sleeping right there too.
Yeah, he's sleeping. That's like Bella. Have you ever cooked s'mores over a campfire? If you haven't, they're really good. So, one night after he ate his supper, there crept through the cracks in the logs a creature with a great, big, long tail. Look how long that tail is. Is it long?
It's long, but it's not.
So it's just, Maverick says it's not too long. There's this fireplace again. When he saw that creature, the old man grabbed his hatchet and what? With one lick, he cut that thing's tail right off. See, there he is. He's getting it with the hatchet. What do you think he does with it next?
Well, he eats it, but...
He probably eats it. He does. Quick as wind, he threw salt and pepper over that tail. He cooked it and ate it right up. He ate that tail right up. It's like having good old alligator tail. You want to have some alligator tail? Or eat some snake? Yeah, I'm not into the snake either. So he ate that tail right up. I wonder if he gave his dogs any. They sure look like they could use some food down there. They're begging, aren't they? Mm-hmm. He didn't sleep very long, for he heard something crawling up the side of his cabin. Scritch! 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 He heard it say, Tailypo! Tailypo! All I want is my Tailypo. Did you hear that, Maverick?
I'm trying to remember what I do.
He had 3 dogs. Uno, Eno, and Sis Campitico Calico. Hey, hey, he called the dogs, and they jumped off the floor and they chased that creature over the woods. Well, now the old man went back to sleep with his dogs chasing after the creature. You think Bella would chase after that creature?
Bella would just give up because she always just sleeps on the floor.
She always just sleeps on the floor. I don't think Bella would be a good dog either. So in the middle of the night, he woke again, hearing something right above his cabin door trying to get in. He heard it screech, 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 and moan. Tailypo, Tailypo, all I want is my Tailypo. Uh-oh. Again, he called his dogs. Hey, hey! They came busting around the corner, out of the house, and went tearing down the gate after that thing. There they go. He's like, go get them. They chased it over to the swamp, and the old man went back to bed. Mm-hmm. You think he's safe now? You think those dogs got it? I think they got it too. We'll see. Along about morning, he woke up hearing something down in the big swamp saying, You know, I know, all I want is my Tailypo. Give me what I want and I'll go away. Again, that old man called his dogs. Hey, hey! But this time, they didn't come because that big thing grabbed him and the old man went back to sleep.
How did he go back to sleep this morning?
He's just a tired guy. He didn't sleep well that night. That's a good question, though. Hey, just before daylight, he woke up hearing something right there in his room, climbing up the bed covers, going, screech, screech, screech. And he looked over the foot of the bed and he saw 2 little pointed ears, and in a minute, 2 big, round, fiery eyes. Look, here it comes. He's up in the corner of the bed. He's like, get me out of here. Even the owl is like, get me out of here. He tried to call his dogs, but he was too scared to holler. That thing kept creeping up till by and by it was almost on top of the old man. And then it said in a low, low voice, Tailypo, Tailypo, all I want is my Tailypo. Here he comes. The old man's like, get me out of here.
What if he used the thing that he cut off his tail to cut off his head?
Oh, the hatchet? That might be a good idea.
Yeah, but it would still be alive, but he might scratch the guy like Alice in Wonderland.
Like Alice in Wonderland? Okay. Well, that old man sat up hollering, I don't have your Tailypo! He's trying to get away, but he grabs his nightgown. And that thing said, "Yes, you have." And it jumped on top of the man and gobbled him up. And some folks say it got back his Tailypo. The end. Did you like that, Maverick?
I never did.
Did all of you like it? It's a lot of fun. It's a little bit scary, but it's okay. It's fun to be a little scared sometimes. But this book is, like I said, Tailypo, illustrated by Will Clay. It's kind of a hard book to find, so if you find it, definitely check it out and add it to your collection.
Wait, maybe the dogs killed the big giant thing. That it's 4 against 1.
You think the dogs maybe got it?
Yeah,
Those are pretty big dogs. Dogs could have gotten it. All right, this book here, there's nothing scary about it at all. I picked this one because I feel like little 8 John is kind of like the way I was when I was a kid. Once again, it's written by Jan Wall and illustrated by Will Clay. This one here is an award winner. This one, it's hard to see it. This one earned
like he plays baseball.
the Nonviolent Social Change Award, which is the Coretta Scott King Award. Okay, so you think it looks like he plays baseball?
Yeah.
Okay. Also illustrated and autographed by Will Clay. Little John 8. So, like I said, I feel like this is my, autobiography for when I was a kid, my biography when I was a kid, but you'll see why. Once there was a fine-looking boy named Little 8 John. He looked fine, but he didn't act fine. He was mean as mean there was. Look at this poor little boy. He doesn't look mean at all, does he?
Mm-hmm.
Does he look mean?
He looks tough.
He looks tough? Okay. But he doesn't look mean at all. So, don't kick at those toad frogs, his mother told him, or you'll bring bad luck on us. But as soon as he got out of sight, little 8 John kicked a fat bunch of toad frogs. Well, that's not very nice. His mama told him not to, but he went ahead and kicked them anyways. Would you do that?
I would let him be and touch him.
You would touch them? Okay. Would all of you kick the frogs? I hope not. It's not nice to kick any animals or any people.
I would show it to my mom.
Okay. So the next morning, the spotted cow didn't give any milk and the baby had colic. Oh my, little 8 John just ducked his head and laughed. Poor baby, colic. What does colic mean? You don't know? Colic is like when a baby's really cranky and cries a lot. So when the cows didn't give milk, if you're a farmer, your cow's got to give milk in order to put, bread and food on the table for your family. The next day, Little John's mom, "Don't sit in that chair backwards," his mother told him. "It'll bring us a mess of troubles." And of course, right soon after, Little John 8 had to sit backwards in that wood chair.
Why?
Because he's just being ornery. Do you listen to me every time I tell you to do something? Usually?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, usually. But little 8 John, he didn't listen to his mama. So she says he's going to give him a mess of troubles. So let's see if it does happen. The cornbread burned in the stove. The butter didn't churn. Oh my, little 8 John just laughed and laughed because he knew why it was. Because he didn't follow directions. Mama told him he's going to cause a heap of trouble if he doesn't listen. See, there he is under the table there just laughing and giggling. He thinks it's the funniest thing in the world. His mama's like, "Oh my gosh, this boy's going to be the death of me." "Don't climb trees in your best clothes," his mother shook her finger at him. "It will grieve us." So the minute he ran out in the yard, he had to sneak up in the hickory, and oh my, he climbed that tree in his Sunday best.
Yeah. I thought that was a piece of the tree that's the extra.
And the potatoes in the back patch wouldn't grow, and his father's mule wouldn't go. Little 8 John just got a fit of giggles. So once again, he doesn't follow his mom's directions, and he causes problems for his family. The mule's not plowing the field, and there's no potatoes growing in the patch. They need those potatoes to sell. Don't count your teeth, his mother told him one morning, or bad sickness may come over us. Well, sir, right then, he had to go count his teeth. He counted his uppers, and he counted his lowers. Have you ever counted your teeth?
No, but his teeth look very clean.
You know, he must be brushing them every day, every morning, huh? Have you counted your teeth? Do you brush your teeth every morning, every night? I hope so. No cavities. So let's see what kind of trouble he caused now. Oh my! His mother had hiccups, and poor tiny baby got the croup, all on account of little 8 John and his mean ways. You know what the croup is? The croup is like a really bad cough that babies get. Listen, don't sleep with your head at the foot of the bed or your family will get big money blues, his mother told him. Big money blues. It's like a song, right? No. Big money blues, it's basically they're gonna need money and they're not gonna have it, so they're gonna have the blues. The blues is a type of song. It's usually a down and out song. Oh my law! That same night as he slept with his head at the foot of the bed, the family went broke with no money left. Little 8 John just jumped silly. Oh, that little 8 John. He's such a little stinker, isn't he? Don't have the Sunday moans for fear of old raw head bloody bones, his mother told little John 8 one afternoon. What do you think old raw head bloody bones is?
When you get blood and stuff.
Yeah. What do you think? Kind of sounds like another urban legend to me. Mm-hmm. Well, come Sunday, he had the Sunday moans and Sunday groans, and he moaned and he groaned and he moaned and he groaned. Look at him moaning and groaning, moaning and groaning. His mama told him not to get the Monday groans, Sunday groans. Old raw head bloody bones walked right in and changed little John 8 to a spot of jam on the kitchen table. His mother began to wash off the jam spot, but before she did, little 8 John woke up. Don't do it! Don't do it, Mom! It's me, he shouted. Look, there he is as a little spot of jam on the kitchen table. Mom was like, oh my gosh, what is going on? So Mama did her Mama Jama Jamba, whatever she needed to do, and she popped him back into real life. And little John 8 had learned his lesson. He tells his mom, I'm going to mind you from now on. And he always did. So what's the lesson of this story? What's the moral of this story? What should you always do?
Hello?
Follow? Follow what?
The dad's rule and the mom rule.
Follow the dad's directions and the mom's directions. That's a good rule for all of you out there too. Follow your teacher and principal's directions too. So I hope you enjoyed my stories. I hope that all of you go out and try to find a Will Clay or a Jan Wall book and enjoy them and learn a little bit about the two authors and illustrators, because it is pretty cool that they are, here from Toledo, and they're from Toledo. You're all from Toledo. We're from Toledo. Growing up in Toledo, you can do anything you want. Graduating from Whitmer, you can do anything you want. You just got to set your mind to it. So have a great evening and go Greenwood.